Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 342 for February 20th, 2020. It's 2020. Awesome. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly.
It's 2020.
And I'm Adriel. 2020.
Yeah, and I'm the guy who doesn't care about numbers and dates.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
Why
do.
do I get? Why?
Welcome to episode 342.
No.
It's
That's
so many
grammar.
twos. Oh my goodness, we're at 42, 342.
342 to 2020.
Second month, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
February and 20
And
2020. And 20.
You know what? Next week's going to be awesome because it's going to be the 29th. Yeah.
You going to be all right with that?
It's going to be exciting. We have to do something special. Leap year.
Mind.
When what? Okay.
No, never mind. Nope. I was gonna. Nope. I was gonna ask you when Valentine's Day was, but I thought no, too soon.
Shut up. It was on the 14th. Which
Are you sure?
Shut up.
And what day of the week was that?
That was Friday. I thought it was the Thursday.
Close enough.
And what do you do for a fundraiser that involves?
I don't look at a calendar.
Clearly.
Phone.
Maybe if you did, they wouldn't come up with mistakes. You made that one too easy. Thank you.
You know what it is? It means that I'm going to get you to edit the calendar. You think I'm volunteering?
This is why. Shut up.
Yeah. If you don't shut up, you make fun. Guess what? You get voluntold. All right. Why don't we talk about what we did in guns? What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer. So let's see what we got going on there. We have. I just opened it.
I put on they got some bipods, some big, heavy, mean bipods
Holy
for
crap.
machine guns and stuff.
Yeah. So it's the G3 bipod, and it's on clearance, so it's only $150. Those are some pretty significant bipods. What would you be actually? Go ahead.
It's like one of them big, heavy bipods. For machine gunning stuff?
Machine gunning, 50 cal.
For the H&K G3. 308.
Sure.
But it's big and beefy. Like that looks like it would live at home.
It's not your gravel. Atlas. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we say beefy, I wonder how heavy. But do we really care?
You don't care when you're laying down.
It's
supporting the gun. It's the weight helps.
So you have this big gun and you have this little tiny bipod, and it goes.
Just because it says it's for the H&K G3, will it fit something else? I wonder.
With JB Weld and God, anything is possible.
Yep, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It'll all fit.
Calgary Shooting Center. Awesome. Hi, Jeff. Or is it... Okay, we have to make a distinction. Is it Geoff or is it...
No, of course not. It's Jeff.
I lost my mind when Dave said that last week.
I know, right? And I lost my friendship over the whole, you should call him up and ask for a hand-picked cooey because, people are dumb. And
it's SKS.
Yeah, SKS.
Does he have any more
Did people actually call in and ask for hand-picked SKSs?
I'm sure they did.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Just to try and get me fired. What did I do to them?
Pre-fired, right? Tested?
Yes, cited in.
And with a letter of authenticity.
Because we said he had to do it, right? So you actually got a signed target. Your 18-inch group at 25 meters, signed by Jeff Reese.
Yeah, like he doesn't have enough to do. Okay.
Yeah, I called tonight and I barely got a word. Yep, okay, yep, email me, click.
Done. So Trevor,
reminded of my place in the picking order. Yes, Kelly.
What do you mean in the picking order? He sends you messages about anything that's on sale. So, you're pretty high in the pecking order. I don't get any emails.
He just sells a lot of stuff to Trevor.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go.
He makes money off of Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is Vinny. How does I work for him, but I owe him money? How does that work? Doing it wrong or doing it right?
Store credit.
Because it's like your addiction.
This is like when I worked at Pizza Light. You
are in high-risk situations every time you get to work.
High-risk situations.
When I worked at Pizza Light, I used to get like £5 a week and half a paycheck. Eat all my food, all my pay.
Yeah.
All right, is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn. Why don't you tell us what you did in guns this week?
I went to the wonderful city of Fredericton and taught. Yeah, I got to see. I was #mytribe. I was with all the peoples.
The peoples.
And we put on a IPSC Chief Range Officer course. So when you're in the sport of IPSC, you have 3 levels of officials: the Range Officer, the Chief Range Officer, and the Range Master. So this was a Chief Range Officer course. So it's for people who want to work at a match at a higher level where they're in charge of either a squad, or they're in charge of a stage, or they're in charge of a bay with multiple stages.
Okay.
And they would be the primary authority over all people and stages in that region, the application of rules and penalties and procedurals. They're the first step in the chain of command of a scoring challenge, that sort of thing, right? So that was the course I taught this weekend. It was a great group of people. We had Wild Bill from Prince Edward Island came over.
I saw that.
Greg and Lynn came from, I love this. Greg and Lynn came from Hampton. They were kind of on the fence, right? Lynn, a little apprehensive. Am I ready? Greg, do I really want to do this? I've got enough on my plate. Kind of, you know what I mean? Those are the people you want, right? Those are the
busy people.
You know, yeah, well, not just that. The people that are unsure. The guy who shows up and says, "I'm going to be the best Chief Range Officer ever," and he can't wait. You know what I mean? I'm like, that might be true, but you're scaring me a little bit. The person who's a little, apprehensive about getting in, then when they take the trouble to show up, it's good. So
and they're going to pay attention as well, and they're going to absorb, right?
And listen to how attitude. Much. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Lynn shows up. Lynn shows up a little apprehensive. She got a 98 on her first test and a 97 on her second test. So I'm like, here's how it's going to work at home now. You're the chief range officer. And Greg needs to work for you. You're in charge now. So
does Greg know this?
Yeah. I believe I said it. Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter as long as she tells him.
How did he do?
Not as good as her.
Okay.
No one, to be fair, did as good as her on those tests. It was awesome. So, and then there's 2 closed book exams, and there's a stage design exercise. And so, prior to the course, the students are informed that they have to bring 3 stages: a short, medium, and long, and they have to prepare them in such a way that they're going to be sent away for level 3 sanctioning approval. So, ripped apart and stuff. So everybody brought like varying degrees of preparedness to that activity. God love Daniel Budd from Woodstock. He was essentially exempt from that section because he had just gone through the sanctioning process for the best New Brunswick provincials we've ever had. So he just brought in all the stages and went, here you go, bitch. Like, it's like, so he was good to go on that section. And then Justin Brown was there. He's already got some match director experience, so he did fine. We had 1 recertification person. Larry and I co-taught, and Mark Manderson hooked us up with meeting space in the school district office down there. So my technology, being a teacher, just links up seamlessly with their technology. So it just meant it's smartboard, overhead projector. It was just fantastic. So huge shout out to Mark for making that happen. He will actually be a student in the RO course that comes in April. I do CRO in the middle of the year because these guys are already officials. I do RO in April, right before the season starts, so they don't forget what they just learned, because we start shooting in May, right? So so it was a good time. I'm really happy with everybody and how it went. And then I got to work at the shop. Here's one of the projects I worked on. I worked on 2 things. I worked on my nephew's Kui 600, preparing the stock. First stock I ever worked on. I think I sent you guys some pictures.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Not the first stock I worked on. That's not true. First stock that I have gone through from start to finish, from let's strip the old finish off, start the sanding process, and start to refinish. So we're at the point now where it's stained. Next, I'm going to apply coats of true oil. So the true oil, you literally just put on your hand, and you gob it on. You just rub it on there pretty thin, and then steel wool, because it's going to dry with these little tiny bumps on it. You steel wool those off, blow it all off, put another coat on, same thing, and repeat and repeat.
Yeah.
And in the end, you get something that looks like. Where's the one that's handy? Yeah. Let me show you this. This is what the True Oil product will look like when finished. See that nice shine?
Yeah.
The wood is sealed and protected.
How would you compare True Oil to linseed, oiled linseed?
I would say that it's not as good, but easier to use. Mm-hmm. Linseed is, I think, Adriel, a more durable product, but it's going to take longer it's longer and more complicated to apply.
Yeah.
I'm saying that based on a memory of what I was told. I've not actually worked with linseed oil, but I was going to do, I think, an Enfield stock in linseed oil, and it was quite the process. Talk about boiling it and soaking it and stuff like that. So anyway, and then we started to do some testing, reassembly, and I discovered a bit of a problem. I was trying to reassemble the magazine tube on the Kui 600 and put the pin didn't go in the hole correctly, and it actually caused a burr on the inside, and the magazine tube follower didn't go in, and it wouldn't go in all the way and stuff. So Joey gave me a hand. Shout out to Joey. We took an old Mosin and Gaunt cleaning rod, and where the patch would go, he wrapped sandpaper around it, put it in the chuck of the drill, put it down inside the magazine tube. Yeah, and then that turning of the sandpaper would just hog out the material that got pushed into the magazine tube. Not perfect, but it's working, but it's going to work better. We need to take a bit more off because there's some failures. It's not feeding quite right. So anyway, it not only has to look good, it has to work good as well. Then the other project that we worked on was this. We talked about this before. This is my STI 1911 Trojan in 9mm, and this is what it looks like with satin bluing. Satin bluing is probably, if your gun is blued and it's an IPSC pistol, this is a fantastic finish because the turnaround time at the shop is quick and dirty. This is very easy. Degrease, sandblast, gas, throw it in the tank. Done. And the finish comes out looking fantastic.
Very consistent.
Yeah. And so this is a gun that's blued but polished. So you see there's a bit more shine there. At least the slide has been blued and polished. The frame has just been satin blued. So you can see how one is coarse and rough and the other one is kind of polished. Mm-hmm. If you look at the top here, they didn't polish the top. That's because you don't want light shining off of that and getting in your eyes while you're aiming. But in this case, my STI, I just compared my Tanfoglio to my STI because the Tanfoglio slide has some polishing on it. So this has all just been quote unquote satin blued. Satin blued or satin bluing is a fancy name for we were too lazy to finish the gun properly and didn't want to polish it. A lot of new hunting rifles, like your Savage 111s, your Savage Axis, that's all they are, man. They're just sandblasted and blued. So, yep, it's quick, but it's bluing. It's going to have all the benefits of a blued firearm, but it's just quick and if you're not worried about getting scratched and stuff because it's an IPSC pistol, it's a fantastic way to put a quick finish on your gun. There's pictures on our Instagram of I say ours, like it's mine and Adriel, or my Instagram, the show's Instagram, and Denise's Instagram of this. And in one of those three Instagrams, so follow us all, of course. There are also pictures of my godson's Norinco NP29 1911 that Denise Cerakoted, and you can hardly tell them apart. Satin bluing to Cerakote is very, very similar. And then I bought this. I forgot to tell Denise about this. This is exciting. This is my first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my first double barrel 12 gauge. So this is a Baikal. Or Baikal. It's named after Lake Baikal in Russia. So it says made in USSR. It is a 12 gauge, and the wood is pretty much the same as on my single shot 20 gauge here as far as color. Now, my 20 gauge here, I just showed you guys, was refinished. So when Denis refinished it, the color came out a little lighter than originally. Originally, it looked just like this double barrel. And this is an IJ 58 something MA or something. I don't know. They've got some silly numbers. Anyway, it's 28-inch barrels, double barrel, 2 triggers. So shout out to Ben. I got this from him. Got the same butt plate as all the other bicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's got a nice bit of filigree on the top of it as well.
Yeah, there's engraving top and bottom. I mean, it's not super fancy. It's not an expensive gun. Like, it's not an expensive gun at all.
But it's still nice.
What'd you call that? Filigree?
Filigree.
Filigree?
Yeah.
Is that what they call the engraving on the metal?
Yes, that's what they call it. That's
she's a shotgun snob now, Adriel, right?
Mm-hmm.
She shot a little bit of...
she's showing off.
Yeah, man. She went out and shot one round of the skeets.
You bet.
And now,
Now it's like, you bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anyway, new
I got
gun day.
highfalutin taste.
Yeah.
Highfalutin, yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of highfalutin, there's another new gun here that I might as well show you guys while we're talking about new guns.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's still in the case.
It's still got that new gun smell.
Don't breathe in too hard because you get the coronavirus because it's Norinco.
Oh, it's a Norinco.
Yeah.
Hello.
Another NP29 1911 Norinco in 9mm.
How many of those have you purchased now? 4?
Holy smokes. I don't know.
What are you going to do with this one?
I don't know that either.
Oh.
What is this, the Spanish Inquisition? Stop asking questions.
Was the price good?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
How much did you pay for it?
Where'd you
get it?
I got it at work.
What are you going to do for it?
I don't. What am I going to do for it? I traded actual currency for it, Kelly.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even work this one off. I actually purchased it.
Wow.
Put a red dot on it.
Yep.
I will not be putting a red dot on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
New trigger?
Possibly.
Laser grips.
Yeah.
Freaking laser beams. Yeah. So.
Oh, I know what you could do.
What?
You could send it off to a black box and have something really cool done to it.
Or I could have Denis do something really cool to it.
Well, yeah, now that he's back from... Or he's going to have... Will he do... Oh, so can he do designs? Just more of the little
stencil work?
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw is, I think, what the technical term is for.
No, I'm talking about a little bit more detailed paint jobs.
Airbrush?
Sure.
You want a lady's silhouette on the side of your pistol, or Steven Seagal or something?
He's done a Joker themed 1911 that was all purple and green and stuff.
That sounds horrific.
It was horrific. I mean, the work was good, but the idea was horrific. He's also done a... Did he do that?
We live in a society.
I can't... Either he did it or someone was going to... Jason Philp was somehow involved in this. Either Jason Philp got him to... Somebody wanted a John Deere themed Cooey.
Oh, I love the idea. You guys have seen the John Deere SKS, right? That's on the side of the lawn tractor. Oh, I love it so much.
So it was green and yellow, and did it have a stencil on it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Some things I block out. Child abuse, John Deere themed guns, ex-girlfriend named Erin. You got to block out certain things.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk about this last week. We got sidetracked. We have surpassed the Gun Dudes in the most amount of episodes. Everything's a contest, right? When the Gun Dudes wrapped up, I believe their last episode was 341, and we are way past that now. So we've passed we've achieved. Yes, we have achieved a milestone in
milestone
in podcasting. No,
yes,
I was still trying to do the counting thing in my head. Oh crap, she's right. We are only at 342.
Well, they got to 340. So.
Yeah, was it just 340? Yeah. Okay, so we are way past Kelly. Two more. So
our
we can
dial
wrap
goes
it
up to
now.
2 more.
Yeah. So
Good night,
Yeah, I
everyone.
mean, now Tommy went on to his own show. I wanted to have Tommy on. Reached out to Stan, Travis. Travis was trying to hook up with some of the guys. Anyway, life happens. Tommy was actually going to book the day off to come on to talk about it. I was hoping Travis was going to track down Carl and Stan, but it never happened. So if you're new to Pro Gun Podcasting, if you're new to us, you may not have heard of the Gun Dudes. If you can find back episodes of the Gun Dudes, go listen. They were the first. They had so many listeners, it was insane. But they were the only show in town for the longest while. Then Gun Nation came on board and a couple other big ones in the United States, and they started to share the listenership. But the Gun Dudes kind of were like pioneers. They were the inspiration of Canadian Reload Radio. Like Christopher Anderson's on CGN going, all right, there's all these American program podcasts popping up all over in the U.S. How come we don't have one? And next thing you know, him and Andrew Craig and Mike Dixon start talking, and boom, Canadian Reload Radio happened. So they were, they were pioneers and stuff, and they were around for a long time. I don't know if there's any show out there that has surpassed them other than us. I don't know. I mean, we may at this point even be the longest running program podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, in terms of episode count, some of the other guys might run more episodes or like shorter episodes and more of them.
Yeah.
But in terms of time, like a weekly podcast for this many years, we probably are one of the longest running ones.
We're going to be the Simpsons of podcasting.
As long as we keep
they've been on for 30
ourselves,
years, you know that, right?
Gotta maintain relevance.
Yeah, exactly. And start predicting the future like they do.
I was just going to say, like the coronavirus, they predicted that.
Did they? Did they? You know? Are you kidding me? They predicted the coronavirus too?
Yeah.
Matt Groening's a witch. We need to burn on at stake. This is crazy. The amount of stuff they've predicted is insane. Look it up. Anyway, all right. So yeah, man, we passed the Gun Dudes. I don't know if any of them listen, but you know, hats off. Lots of love. Spencer the Whale, he was a Gun Dude listener. That's how we met, by going to the Meg 40 that the Gun Dudes put on Utah. I open carry there, by the way. I don't know if I ever brought that up or not. And
it's the first time you mention it.
Is it? Yeah. Well, I open carried in Utah once.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm getting called out, man. The boys over at Canadian Patriot Podcast calling me out for not going to SHOT Show and stuff. Like I'm a chump, and I'm not saying they're wrong. Good on them for going. Yeah. So anyway, if you haven't heard them, go listen. Canadian Patriot Podcast, good show. Very not well. I mean, it's a gun. Well, is it a gun show? It's a political show done by gunnies. How's that? Would that be a good description? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, they had Matt on a couple episodes back that used to be a host with Tyler over at International Liberty or Death Podcast. Used to love that show. Very edgy, not for everyone, but you know, if you're a man and you don't need a safe space, you might enjoy it. That's it for me, kids. Adriel, you were out killing stuff. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
Went rabbit hunting with the boy. Sorry, went coyote hunting.
And you got rabbits.
We were coyote hunting and doing the calls, and he was like moving around all over the place, so we weren't going to see anything. At least I thought. And then we went down from the blind, and a rabbit was like hanging out with us the whole time. We were like doing these death calls for rabbits. All this like crazy stuff. This rabbit's just hanging
Fred's
out.
Dying.
Yeah. They had coyote sounds, and it's just like hiding at the bottom. And we went down to the bottom, and it ran away, and it started hiding, even though it was, right there. It was white. The camel was good. So popped that guy in the head, and I skinned it out, and I left it at my parents' place accidentally. But it's frozen, so whatever. Treat for them later, I guess. And then that was shot with the Savage 64 takedown, which was actually
pretty accurate. Was it?
Accurate enough. I mean, with just iron sights and the rabbit like 15 yards away, sure, good enough.
Okay.
Yeah. That gun it ran fine with me. It was like -20. It was cold out, and then I ran a couple mags through it, and it was fine the whole time. I would say that the thing I disliked the most about it at this point is the case that it comes in. I think I showed that before on the show.
Yeah, it's
very
crappy.
Bulky for the size of that gun. It could be like a third the size and still be okay. It was okay, and then it like slings over your shoulder, and it's just like a little package kind of thing that's on your shoulder. But it could be much smaller. It could be so much better, I think. and not cost a heck of a lot more.
Right.
Let's see here. So I've got a Sporterized 303, number 1 Mark IV, and
Do you have it handy?
I could make it handy pretty quick here.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pull it out after Kelly's here. I'll talk about that in a minute. Then I'm thinking of unsporterizing because it's sporterized. I got some AliExpress grips, and this probably gave me coronavirus, but you can see that there. And
Let's see them.
Yeah, that they're kind of like this is the Cocobolo grip. Would they say it's Cocobolo? I think it is. It's real wood because I could check on the back that it's not like a laminate or anything like that. I got a couple of different grips. They're about $10 a pop. I would say these require fitting. So the holes in there were not deep enough. So I needed to just relieve them a little bit to get those screws in there properly.
So you brought out the drill?
The Dremel, yeah.
You brought out the Dremel.
Dremel for everything. Yeah, but now they fit just fine. And
they left you no choice, really.
They left me no choice. I have to Dremel everything.
Yeah.
They look good. They're
do.
nice looking grips. And then I was actually talking to Tim from New Brunswick, and he was like, "Hey, there's like these laser grips you can get on eBay for 1911s. I'm thinking of getting one. Have you tried those?" I'm like, "No, but I will." They finally showed up, and they worked for about a minute, and now they won't work anymore. The contact pad here is toast, but that's okay. I can replace the contact pad. I can put like a little micro switch in there and have it so that when you grab onto it, it lights up the laser. I could do that. But the downside is that that's like the batteries and the guts of the thing are all like open to the elements on your grip. So if you were to, I don't know, put your mag in a little bit sideways or something like that, you could damage some of the internals on this laser grip. So it's pretty cheaply manufactured. I wouldn't count on it working.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just while we were going here, I was kind of cleaning this 1911, and I noticed that my I think it's called your plate, like firing pin plate. What do you call this? Firing pin plate? The little slider bit that goes up on your
firing pin stop.
Firing pin stop. I noticed that there's a crack on it right at the corner there, just a little crack. I don't think I care. I think I'm still going to run it, but there is a little crack on there.
It will fail.
Yeah. So I could replace this for, I don't know, probably like $5 if I found one on Brownells or something like that. So.
Yeah, you have to fit it, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Just file it.
I have a Dremel in files, so I can,
right.
I can fit. And
You're
JB Weld. Yep, I am a Smith.
If you take off too much, rebuild with JB.
Just buy another one. I'll just buy two. If I take off too much, who cares? I'll just get another one. And then I just noticed that our 3-gun guys ran their Stop the Bleed course. They ran it themselves.
I saw that.
ROs. Yeah, that
was awesome.
Pop up somewhere. Yeah, good idea. Now we've got like a whole schwack of people who are better qualified to run a tourniquet and stuff a bleeding hole and all that good stuff.
You many to one. Brent Lucas. Is it Lucas? Is his last name? Yeah, Lucas. He just became an instructor for that. He's at a Belleville, so I think I'm going to call him up and see if he can do some for us.
Awesome.
Here in Kingston.
Yeah. The guys that we
it's a really good course.
Putting this on were an EMS, like paramedic.
Yep.
And the other guy is a pediatrician. Yeah. So like doctors and medics putting on a course for normies.
Pediatrician, really a doctor, really. I mean, they're working on like subhumans that aren't like full size.
No,
so they probably didn't go to school as long because the patient is big.
Isn't as big,
right?
Yeah.
They got to have good strong backs because they're always like leaning over.
Right, bent over the orphan, right?
Yeah.
The orphan's got the rickets and stuff because of the
Yeah, malnourished. Yeah.
Malnourished. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's it for me. Kelly, what about you?
I went shooting on Sunday. I went to the FRPC with Kelly Kincaid. We went to the indoor range. We went with another shooter, another woman who wanted to get some tips from Kelly on shooting IPSC. I shot my CZ Shadow 1, and it was okay.
The Shadow of the
I know. I'm a poor person.
Yeah, you're poor.
I'm poor. I did okay. It wasn't great. I need to work on my pistol shooting. Yeah.
All the same fundamentals apply. They're all transferable.
I know. So we can't. especially. So we did IPSC drills. I did pretty good actually, but I do need to work on my weekend especially. So what it reminded me of is I need to do some grip strengthening, and I have.
Don't.
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I have my
Like
grip
if you,
strengthener thingy in the
Kelly,
car, and I'll just do it while I'm in the car.
if you're
just
an
waiting at a
adult,
stoplight.
if you're an adult female who is healthy and you don't have the rickets or the cancer, like your grip strength is fine.
Yeah.
There's no professional instructor is going to tell you to go home work on your grip strength. Okay,
I would like to do it more.
you can work on it. It's not
More
going
is
to help
better.
you.
Better
You
is
can
more.
have the strongest grip in the world and still suck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, your
Well,
grip strength
okay.
is not where you need to work on.
Okay. I got a lot of alphas, a couple of, so it was not bad. I just want to do better, more better. That's what I want.
Yeah, and the trick will be sideline it and trigger press.
Yep.
Not
And it's going to be dry firing and also just practicing as well.
Yes.
Practicing
Now,
my draws.
Perfectly
Since you-
anticipating the fire so that you're pushing forward just as the shot breaks. That's the key.
I want you to never listen to anything Adriel says about anything. Okay?
No.
Okay, perfect. Good. Kelly, you brought up dry fire. One of the things, and maybe I mentioned this before, it seems so obvious when you say it out loud, but I've been doing this a long time, and it never occurred to me until I read it in Ben's book. Every dry fire, every dry fire drill that you do 3 times. Freestyle, weekend, strong hand.
Yep. And that's what I was planning on doing as well. I wanted to do it because I am not comfortable at all with weekend, and it was pretty apparent when I was shooting weekend. I need to actually be able to practice and draw and get used to the weekend. Like, so had a ton of fun. We were like there for 3 hours, whatever. And when I was done, Kelly and I we meet up normally on Wednesdays anyways. And we usually go to like a chocolate place. It's a chocolate. We have waffles and fondue and coffee.
Oh, that's keto.
I know. Well, when I'm ketoing, I get a double espresso and then just drink that. That's what I really need is actually double espresso. I know. And what will we just talk about what we need to talk about with whatever we're planning? Like we do everything together. So we do all these events and we plan all these events. So we have to basically meet we usually do it twice a month. We're doing it twice a month now. It was once a month. Now we're doing it twice a month. But we also see each other on the weekends too, because obviously we go shooting. And Kelly's now an instructor for Project Maple Seed, so I'm going to be seeing her more and more. So that's awesome. And Ladies' Days events are coming up too, which is coming in the upcoming events. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay. But that being said, so I do need to practice more. Wednesday, after we got done on Saturday or Sunday, I said to Kelly, let's, instead of meeting for chocolate and coffee on Wednesday, let's go and shoot. And that was our plan. Our plan didn't really go well because the FRPC has an IPSC club, and they practice. They booked the range on Wednesday night. So she said, "Well, do you want to shoot with them?" I said, "Not really, because there's so many of them, and I didn't really want to actually." So I said, "Let's go outside and let's just do some Maple Seed route qualifications, and we can do some pistol outside." Perfect, no problem. The only thing is, we didn't really think it through because both of us don't get off really until 4:30, or by the time we get to the range, it's going to be 5:00, and it's also February. We're not able to shoot after dusk. It's February, so that means we'd be shooting for like 15 minutes. So, yeah. Anyways, so we decided that we weren't going to go and shoot. We were going to go and have fondue and hot chocolate and coffee. So that's what we did. So now we booked another range day on Sunday. So we're going to go shoot on Sunday, and it's going to be fun. I went to SFRC on Saturday as well, and SFRC, Adriel turned me on to these things. These are laser.
Can you edit that so it just says Adriel turned me on, please?
Absolutely.
Make that. Thank you.
It turned me on to the laser 301. Now, I ordered these last summer, and it took they took 2 months to get from China on a slow boat. Took 2 months to get here, and I've just been having them lay around. There are lasers, red dot lasers. I got the red dot lasers instead of the green. They come with a key, so you can turn them off and on. Because we have dummy rifles that we fit with laser pointers, so that we can show movement and how to use your natural point of aim. And we generally run out of batteries, and the thing actually doesn't fit right. So I ordered a couple of these to try them out, but I needed to get batteries, and I didn't get any batteries that fit. So I went to SFRC on the weekend, and they had the batteries that I wanted, and they had them on sale and in a big pack. So I bought those. And I didn't really buy anything else, and I didn't look at trap guns at all, or skeet guns. I didn't buy any guns. I thought about it, but I didn't buy any.
I bought 2.
I know.
One of them has 2 barrels.
Yeah, so that's double the fun.
Counts twice. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
It does. What else? Oh, when I was shooting on Sunday with Kelly, I shot my Glock for the first time in like a long time. I don't know what happened to it, but my front sight is totally just like sideways khaki ass, as I like to say. So I'm gonna have to send it. I can actually replace the sights myself, but I can actually send it to somebody, maybe somebody who does Cerakoting too.
No,
replace my sights.
Kelly,
what?
I will mail you the tool. There's a special nut driver, goes up inside the slide.
Yeah,
and it's a little bolt with a nut head. It's just a cheap piece of plastic. You buy one for 35 cents, and 2 easy use. Yeah,
or put some Dawson sights on there.
Exactly. I was looking
fiber
at
front, black back. Watch CTN. See if you can get one on
that case.
Equipment Exchange.
Yeah, just send us your slide. Nothing else. We can definitely do that for you. We sell Dawson sights.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't check on yours. I should have checked on Denise's site.
You won't find them on our website, but we buy and install Dawson sights. That's pretty much the only site we install.
Perfect. So now we're doing a little bit of promo for Denise right now as well. Everybody send your Dawson sights, send to Denise.
Morgan Swant, we're doing his right now.
Oh, cool.
That's what he's getting.
Neat.
Okay. All right. So the Smith & Wesson victory that my friend is donating, the CFO is actually processing the registration for the exchange. So, yay, I'm going to be getting it soon. But
why don't they just do it in one day, like the Alberta one does?
New Brunswick.
Yeah. Whatever.
Freaking Muffin. they're the New Brunswick CFO has been like giving people a hard time about their ATT requests. Muffin got his in 24 hours to go to a match this weekend.
Good for
him. I think the important thing that they're trying to reinforce is to always be late with the ask. So never do it ahead of time. Always be like, I'm going to a match tomorrow.
I've been refused.
Please send me my ATT. Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard. I remember you saying that. It's too late.
What was your timeline though? Was it like the next day or was it that day?
No, it was a couple of days.
I thought you had a really good relationship with the CFO there.
That's no excuse. They should have done it in a couple of days.
Yeah, I know. No, the office manager that was there is fantastic, and she is now the new CFO.
Oh, okay.
Super excited.
Super. Okay. That is, I think, everything that I did in guns this year. I think so. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. All right.
Back to the infield.
Trevor, you want to see this?
What? Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yep. So the challenge, Adriel, with unsporterizing, the bottom wood apparently is not unobtainium, but the top wood tends to be unobtainium, and I don't know if it's the front piece or no, there's only one piece. I believe it's all one piece. You're going to have to acquire the front band, the center band. You already have your front sight assembly. That's really important. Your barrel has not been cut.
It hasn't been cut. Still got the lugs on there.
Yeah. And that's the incentive to do it right. If you got that going for it, then it's like, hey, why not?
Almost there, and you could just get the rest of it and get to go, right? So I think I just need the stock set.
Yep, you're going to pay up for it. You don't need the rear. The rear's fine. You got the right magazine. What's up with the metal? Has it been refinished? It looks fantastic.
It's been refinished, yeah.
So someone,
but because it looks,
well, that's the satin bluing. Yeah. It's just been Sandblasted and blued, and that's what I need to do with my long branch. Is going to be the next thing I do because I just parkerized it and I didn't parkerize all the parts, and
Yeah, but it's nice and quick. The action's good on it. I don't know. I like 303s. They're fast shooting.
Have you tried to source the wood yet?
No, I saw one on CGN, a set just recently here, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't want to do that right now. And I should have picked it up because I think it was like $300 or $400
Yeah,
for the whole
crazy.
set. Yeah.
Do you know who's been doing a lot of research on this is Snuffy. Snuffleupagus is a bit of an Enfield collector. And I know there was one in particular before I knew much about this. He's talking milsurps, and I was like, blah blah blah. What's the Nair 15? Blah blah. And so I didn't pay attention to him. Right? He's imaginary, so it doesn't really matter. And so hateful or so hurtful. He listens too, right? So
Hi.
yeah, Snuffy. Imagine I had feelings. Anyway, back in the day, he was all hot and horny for Enfields, and I was kind of indifferent to them. So I don't recall which one he was having a hard time to source wood for. Anyway, moral of the story is I will reach out to him for his Enfield contacts.
Yeah, number 4 Mark 1. Sorry, I think I said number 1 Mark 4, but that's a number 4 Mark 1. I'm just looking on CGN right now. There's a number 1 Mark 3 set for $350, shipping included.
What?
Yep.
Man, if my father's wasn't cut, I'd be all over that. But the barrel's been cut, the front sight's been replaced.
Yeah, and that's the back part, the bottom part, the 2 top parts, the whole.
Oh, you know what, Adriel? If you wanted to, you could just go Boyd's. I'm pretty sure Boyd's does Enfield wood. Lots of fitting required, though. You have to remember when we had bloke on the yes, Adriel, you had the Dremel. Stocking up. I have a guy. I got a guy who is very experienced with the Grands, the M14s, and the Enfields, and can stock them up appropriately. I don't know if it's worth if you're that serious about this, that you would actually ship the rifle to New Brunswick. But if so, talk to me, and I'll
talk to him after the show.
Indeed.
Oh, we're keeping him up.
Yeah, and I got so much to do. I got to pack. I'm leaving for 2 days.
Okay, why don't we get going on the show then?
All right,
you're the lead host, man. Get us going.
Okay, whatever.
Let's go then.
Upcoming events. Adriel, why don't you take TACCOM? Trevor, you take the Podcasters Charity Shoot, and I'll talk about the upcoming Ladies' Day event.
TACCOM 2020, September 11th to 13th in the center of the universe. If you live in the center of the universe, you care. If you don't live there, you don't care.
Hey, people flying in for it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. There's going to be some early bird ticket sales. Go to taccomcanada.com. Early bird 15 off will get you 15% off.
Yeah, they should actually go to our link because we get a little bit of a kickback for it.
Whoa. I didn't know about this. All right. I'm going to put that link in our show notes.
Yeah. If you go to TACCOM and just the TACCOM.com and use you get the discount, but we get nothing. So do the link that we were providing. I should redo it on our
yeah. So if you live in Fair Canada, in most important Canada, then definitely check out that link and buy it
there. It's gonna be awesome. That's what it's gonna be. Okay. Trevor, do you want to do the Podcasters Charity Shoot?
10th Annual Podcast Network Charity Shoot, Rescuers Gun Club, 4th of July. Registration payment will be through PractiScore, $25. Mini Steel Challenge Match, 22 pistol or 22 rifle, PCC or handgun. Be a half round of trap. There'll be a pistol base set up with steel targets that you can just plink at to your leisure throughout the day. This year's charity is the Rod Harkwell Memorial Fund. The fund is intended for the benefit of sick or injured children in the Restigouche region. This includes expenses incurred by families of sick or injured children for medical treatment, testing, equipment, or related travel expenses so that they may receive the best treatment possible. You can check out the fund at rodharkwellmemorial.com. Just Google it, as Adriel would say, and you can find out who Rodney Harkwell was, and you can actually see some of the children who have benefited from this memorial fund. So that is where our fundraising efforts are aimed
It's a good
at
one this year.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to talk to you guys about an upcoming event that's going to be happening at the EOSC, which is the Eastern Ontario Shooting Club. That's in just outside of Ottawa. So save the date, backed by popular demand. It's the EOSC EOSC CCFR, too many C's, Ladies' Day or Range Day. And it's going to be on Saturday, July 25th. This time we're actually going to be partnered with Vortex Canada, and we're going to have a great day at the range. It's basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be fundraising to support women's health, because all the proceeds from the event is going to Breast Cancer Action Ottawa. We don't have the sign up link yet, but we're going to be posting that soon. So watch for that. So if you're in the Ottawa, Belleville, Brockville, Kingston area, and you're a lady or you know some ladies that would like to attend, just let them know about it. So save the date. It's July 25th. I'm going to be there. Kelly Kincaid's going to be there. Tracy Wilson's going to be there. All the field officers for the CCFR from the Ottawa area are going to be there. We got some great people from Reg Wales going to be there from Vortex. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. You should see some of the guns that he's bringing. He's bringing all the guns too, so that's fantastic. We don't even have to bring our own guns. It's awesome. All right. Adriel, you want to do the intro into PRS? I don't know if it's got edited since last week, but
intro to PRS, March 7th, 2020. The cost will be $80. Ken Thiessen of Bullseye and Ryan McLean of KDEX will have been teaming up to introduce you all to PRS match shooting. They've been competing in precision rifle, PRS, and F-Class for about 7 years.
Yep.
The format will consist of all in-class instruction on March 7th at 8:30 till early afternoon. So if you're looking for more information on PRS shooting, that's the class for you. It's because it's classroom only and no firearms are required. Just hop right in and get all the theory and all the book learning. Is that what they call it? Book learning?
Book learning?
Paper learning? Calculators, all that kind of stuff there. If you're interested, sign up through via Practice Score or through Facebook.
Yep. And just to let everybody know, Ken Thiessen and Ryan McLean are going to be on next week. We're going to be talking about PRS.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Let's dive into new gun stuff. Adriel, what do you got?
Let's see here. Yeah, there's a couple of different things. One of them is Wolverine announced that they're going to be doing an updated 180. Like their AR 180, but now with a new different company. They're going to be naming it the WSMCR. It's going to be available in 5.56 NATO, 7.62 by 39, and 2.24 Valkyrie. So some interesting cartridges there. It's going to be using steel side panels. So the WK180, some people had problems with. There's like a little steel key on the side of the bolt, and that was chewing up the aluminum rails on the sides. This one's going to be using steel panels, so no problems there. It's got a built-in case deflector. The handguard is longer, so some people didn't like the length of the WK handguards. They're going with a longer one. And it's using a cross pin in the rear to better secure the two receiver halves. So if you don't like wobble in your 180, that's going to be solved as well. So those, I believe, they're on sale now. So that's kind of interesting.
Adriel, I need to correct something.
Okay.
The number 4 Mark 1 handguard sets are in two pieces. You got the rear handguard and the front handguard.
Yep.
And that's the front handguard. That's the bugger to find.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Yeah, because people would have chopped it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at some when we had Bloke on the Range on, I'm pretty sure. And there's some guys in England that have them, I think, where you can get them from. Maybe I'm misremembering that.
Oh,
but
it's
just wood, so you could totally just mail this globally.
Yes.
I gotta go back and watch that episode and then find out where those were and then mail some to myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Next up after the WSMCR is the Remington R12. This is auto-loading tactical shotgun. So Remington's coming out with this R12. It's like their Versamax, but it's in 3-inch only. It's a bit shorter, a bit lighter. This tactical version has a couple of extra stuff put into it. They're going to be $15.88 for a pre-sale at Is it Crafum? CRAFM?
Yeah.
Crafum.
Yes.
Crafum.
Yeah, out of
People
Montreal.
pronounce it crap them, yeah.
This one fires 2 3/4, 3-inch, and 3.5. So
Yeah, see that.
yeah, that's interesting. And it's tactical, and I feel it's a bit too expensive. I think that this doesn't compete well with like you can, for $1,500 you can get a Beretta 1301, and I would rather have a Beretta 1301 than a Remington shotgun.
I've seen this gun in person and tried to order the barrel off of it.
Yeah.
That's when I found out that couldn't get this barrel, but we could get the 22-inch turkey barrel, which we did.
Mhm.
And shout out to Wild Bill. He did send his barrel to DC Armory to have verified, and it is indeed a 3.5-inch chamber. It was verified by Denis, the licensed gunsmith, who then stamped it 3.5-inch. So now Bill can run his gun to a magazine capacity of 5 3.5-inch rounds. He was limited to 5 3-inch rounds before, but now he can up it.
Awesome.
Yeah. These are expected right around the end of March. Let's see, where am I here?
The Walther PPQ.
I just wanted to talk about those because the mags are ungodly. Like, eventually, I want to have a show where we kind of go through some of the new pistols and like whether to get them or not to get them, and why you would or wouldn't. But when I saw these, like, what's a CZ75 magazine? $35, right?
Right.
That's for your Shadow 2s and all that kind of stuff. You don't get a base pad with it, but they're $35.
Nope.
The Walther PPQ M2 magazine with base pad on it.
Yeah.
They're $150.
But it's a colored base pad.
Oh, man.
That's expensive.
I've seen some 2011 mags cost $170.
Yeah.
That's a 2011 magazine, though. That's like a $6,000 open pistol. That's like you still have to tune it afterwards, right? You still have to tune a 2011. Okay.
I mean, some a little bit, but not compared to like some guys like clean up the trigger, but basically they're done.
Well, you got the pad. It's colored. It comes with the
pad should be like $30. This thing should be
I'm
75, 80 if you want to like make a little bit of money on it.
Yeah. Well, they're making a lot of money, or they're not going to sell any, and they're not going to make any money. Okay.
The people with the PPQ M2 mags,
I know they're going to
M2s. They don't have any choice. They have to buy those.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah.
It's like the FN mags, but for $75. It's like you're going to buy from someone else. You can't. Yeah.
They're going to sell their children and buy these magazines.
That's why we have so many orphans. People can't afford magazines.
Got to buy those mags. Have you guys seen any of these Cross 1010 mags? I've got a couple of buddies who've bought them now. Hearing good things about them. They're a 10-round mag with another 10-round mag that goes on the bottom. They've got a coupler on them that's made for coupling them, so you can couple them bullets facing forward or bullets facing backward on the bottom one. You can't face the bullets backward on the top one. That doesn't make any sense.
Elf carrying them, right?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They come in like clear, smoked, dark, and apparently they're pretty good. Which I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I'm a little bit surprised because it's a brand new product. It was like we waited a really long time for them, and the first version came out, and they're okay. They're good.
They work.
Yeah,
they work.
Yeah,
yeah.
Very interesting. The deal. I think they're $50.
Yeah,
for 2 10-round mags and the coupler in between. That's okay because the coupler is usually $10 or $20. The 2 mags are usually $25 each. You're doing all right to get that set. This other one, I don't think we covered this one. I'm pretty sure this was released at SHOT, but we just didn't talk about it. Cadex is releasing their new CDX R7 Carbon and Sporter.
Explain this to me. Like, Cadex makes the coolest tactical sniper rifles the planet has ever seen, and people are suddenly saying, "Yeah, but I'd really like something that looks like a hunting rifle."
I want to take it hunting. Well, I took that one hunting. That
of course you did. I mean, snipers take them hunting. They take them people hunting. Mm-hmm. Why is Cadex making a hunting rifle? I don't.
Because people have been asking for it. That's why.
What if you go buy a hunting rifle?
Wow.
Okay. I want Magpul to start producing wood stocks. Okay, is that all right?
What if you want to shoot your deer really far away?
Yeah.
What better
Use
rifle?
A Cadex Tremor.
But this one's lighter.
Yeah. More portable.
Their sporter is,
Yeah.
let's see, what is a sporter here? 8 pounds. Still pretty heavy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it's not the heaviest rifle you can get. It's not as
No, of
heavy as their
course
other
not.
ones,
I
right?
just don't understand why all of a sudden the coolest chassis makers are making anyway.
But,
And
alright,
action, like chassis and action, right? So the action is that that fast action on there. So you're getting a couple things in there.
It's nice.
price on it's a little
$3
rich.
grand. Yeah.
36.
Yeah. The sporter's $3 grand,
Yeah.
and that's in 6.5 Creedmoor. Or
I mean, whatever. My Stag 10 cost that after optic.
Yeah. Well, after you, this one doesn't have one yet. You're gonna have to put something on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is going to be another. Put $1,000 on there. Oh, they go in different options, Kelly. They got one that's only 3,000.
I know.
Yeah.
So
They also got one that's also 48.
cheapest.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you guys are shying away from those prices, well, at least
Let's go on to the G36.
Price has been slashed on this. Used to be $8,000. Now it's $6,000.
What a bargain.
Mm-hmm. It's HK.
Yeah, it's HK.
You suck and we hate you, HK.
Ooh, HK.
I don't like it. Never liked it. There's
You don't like
nothing I
them?
like about it.
I think some people like the look of the G36.
Yeah.
And I think you can do a G36 clone, or you can get the real G36, and the real G36 comes with a HK price tag on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've handled the SL8 and stuff.
The SL8's not as nice feeling as the G36.
It's just so out there, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not an AR-15.
No, it's not an AR-15. Hey, you want something that's not an AR-15? Taurus, they've got this TX-22, which it must be a 22. And Iron Guns is bringing them in. They're going to be $250 US.
You know what this looks like?
What's that?
It looks like a Steyr in 22. It's very much a Steyr. Tell me it's not a Steyr.
Well, it doesn't have that crappy looking safety on the side. You know the safety that they put on all
Steyr
of their...
doesn't. This does.
Yeah, it does. The Steyr 22 has that crappy safety on the side.
Oh, I didn't know Steyr made a 22.
GSG makes a 22, and they make it for... They make that SIG 1911. They make the Mosquito, and they make the Steyr one. They all have this real weird safety on the left-hand side of the receiver, or of the slide.
The MMP 22 is also made in Germany, and it also has a safety.
Yes, it does.
That's all GSG making those. They're making all of them. Not this one. Or if they are, they just don't put that safety on there in that same spot. Anywho, Iron Guns is bringing this in. The Taurus XT22 240.
American.
250 American dollars.
Yeah, so it's not gonna.
Yep. This last one, this isn't really new gun, but like every week when I go through looking for new gun stuff, I go over CGN. I'll usually go through Reddit top posts and see if there's anything neat in there. And this one just came up as an interesting discussion topic. So I'm gonna pull up the picture on the screen.
Wow.
I'm gonna read the thing, and I'm gonna say scenario: firearms non-restricted. There's no ammo, empty mags. You get pulled over. What's the constable's reaction?
Can I just
go for
basically put in, okay. What people forget is that not all firearm laws are federal. There are federal transportation and safety storage requirements, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And federally, your non-restricted firearm need only be unloaded, okay? Every province has its own set of firearm laws that are usually written in their Wildlife Act. So, for example, in New Brunswick, outside of the hunting season, you cannot transport a non-restricted gun around unless you're a member of a gun club. So, if you do transport your non-restricted gun around and you're not hunting, according to New Brunswick law, it has to be cased. A lot of people forget to look into their own province's laws. So, is this okay? Yes and no.
Yeah.
it depends on where you are and what your provincial wildlife act says about the transportation of firearms in and outside of the hunting season.
And the other thing that the other issue you might run across is if you were in a major city that doesn't have a lot of firearms stuff going on, and
people lose their minds.
Yeah, someone might lose their mind when they see that.
In that case, the constable is more likely to seize in quote unquote good faith until we get a supervisor down here to find out what laws you are not breaking and then give you back your property.
Mm-hmm.
But this depends on a lot of factors. But the most important thing to remember in this scenario is federally, you're okay. It's a non-restricted firearm. It's unloaded. Yep, good. You met the federal requirement for safe transportation. What about your provincial requirements? The people who post, there's a lot of ethnocentrism within Canadian firearms owners, and they think the way they do it in their province is the same way it's done all across Canada.
No.
And it's not how it works.
Well, the wildlife thing that you guys have going on there, it seems a little bit of an overreach to me. Like,
I agree.
I don't think that should be a thing. Because
I agree 100%.
Maybe go back like 50 years, yeah, people would have been poaching a lot more, and that would have been like a serious thing. That may be why they put in such an overreach. But today, you should be able to go out in the bush with your SKS and go blast some rocks or something. And
you can.
Yeah, you just need to case it and,
lock it. I mean, like federally, you're not allowed to load a gun where you're unless you can only load a gun where it's legal to discharge a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there are some cases where it's like you're prohibited from being within a resort of wildlife with a firearm unless it's, you know what I mean? Rangers will take it into context. Are you in a gravel pit and are you shooting something that's obviously for fun? Or did I stop you at night with a spotlight in your back seat and an uncased firearm across the front seat? You know what I mean? They're still going to take consideration, take things into context.
Yep.
If you're using a gravel pit as an improvised shooting range, federally, you're allowed to discharge your firearm there if all the parameters are met with the safe distances and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, the moral of the story is you need to be aware of your province's firearm regulations, which are usually buried among the Wildlife Act.
Yeah.
How many places are like that other than New Brunswick? It's not like that in Alberta. I don't think it's like that in BC or Saskatchewan.
I can't say for sure. I mean,
I don't know, but Ontario.
I don't know them all, but I mean, I know that, like Quebec, for example, you have to be 50 meters off the road before you're allowed to shoot.
I assume in Quebec, just everything has to be locked up all the time, and you're not actually allowed to even look at them,
right?
Unless you speak French. S'il vous plaît, I think is the correct word.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You sound like an Anglophile.
Anglophile.
Saying it.
If it pleases the crown, may I use my property?
S'il vous plaît. You have to say that in French, though, Trevor.
Yeah. S'il vous plaît?
No, that's French too. All right. Anyways, I thought that would be fun to talk about, and it was. I'm greatly pleased.
You're greatly pleased.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about pleasing you. Awesome. All right, let's get into the main topic.
All right. Welcome to our main topic. This week we have on a very special guest, my friend, my boss, Denis Chouinard from Armory DC Gunsmith. Denis, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Whatever I broke or lost this week, I'm sorry.
Nah, wasn't that much this week. You only came in 2 days. So.
How much damage can I do in 2 days, really, right?
A lot.
Break a cooey, $50. Who cares?
It is my $50 cooey, so yeah. Anyway, Denis, welcome back. You've been here before. This week we have you on because you just did something kind of exciting that's work related at the business that I wanted you to come on and talk about. You've been doing Cerakote for a while now, but you just recently returned from taking the course, right?
Yes. So I am now a certified Cerakote applicator.
Okay. So where did this course take place and what exactly did you do on this course?
So the course was in White City, Oregon. I was there January 30th and 31st. So it's a 2-day course where, so first part of the day, they teach you all about what is Cerakote, how it all started, basically all the different products that they have. A lot of people think Cerakote is one product, but it's actually a brand that offers a lot of different products. Then, so that was the first day until lunch, and then we were down in the shop doing some Cerakoting. If we wanted, we could bring our own projects. Unfortunately, I was not able to send one of my own guns over there because I didn't want to ship a gun to the US. But they had practice plates, so I did. Learned. I've already been doing Cerakote for the past 3 years, but I still learned a lot during that course. A lot of different new techniques.
Did they also teach you how to measure the ingredients differently from, like, if you watch like a YouTube video, they're using graduated cylinders to measure things, but doesn't Cerakote do like a volume thing where you actually weigh your ingredients or something?
Yes, exactly. So, there's a training video on YouTube. You can get the training manual for free, so anybody can learn the basics of Cerakote. So the way they show it in that manual is to measure by volume. So the ratio is always 18:1. So 18 millimeters of paint for 1 millimeter of hardener. But the way they showed it in the course is to go by weight instead of volume. So because every color has a different density. So to get that 18:1 ratio, you have to weigh it instead of just measuring it.
Nice. Okay. So you just watch the little video and you think you know what you're doing, but in reality, because each color is different, your ratio of 18:1 doesn't always necessarily work.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have inconsistency in the product if you don't know the difference.
Yep.
Cool.
And they also show in the training manual, you can go, like, if you want a more glossy finish, to do a 12:1 ratio instead of 18, and if you want a matte finish, to go 24:1. But they suggested that to always use 18, because all their testing, all the data that's available, it's always done at that 18:1 ratio.
Okay.
So if they say a certain color is, they talk about, like, resistant to rust, wear, and corrosion, and all those tests were done at 18:1 ratio.
Interesting. So that's cool. That's the insider stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else unless you go become a certified applicator. So, okay, we talked a little bit on the show over the years about Cerakote, but why don't you actually tell us, in professional terms, what is Cerakote and how does it apply to what we do in the firearms industry?
Okay, so Cerakote, the company started in '84, so they've been out there for a while. But in the firearms industry, it really started being popular around 2012, 2013, and anytime we say Cerakote, we think about that paint, that baked on paint it's a ceramic based paint. That's just one of the products they offer. So the most common one is the H series. It's what you see the most on firearms. And they also have the Elite series that just came out 2 years ago for firearms. So the advantage of Cerakote of the H series compared to a traditional finish on firearms, so like parkerizing or bluing, is that it's a lot more resistant to corrosion, to wear, to rust, and the other finishes. And now the Elite series that just came out is even better than the H series. But the Elite series is only available in 8 different colors. But the H series is available in over 100 colors.
So what's the difference between the H series and the Elite series other than the limited colors? Like, is it more durable, longer lasting, different colors? All of that?
I mean, it's really the chemical composition of the paint, which I didn't really into. But basically, the Elite Series, yes, is a lot more even better than H Series. So when it comes to corrosion, wear, rust, even sun and all that.
So when I bring a firearm into you to be Cerakoted, I should know the difference and specify I want Elite Series, or does it depend on the
Not
application?
depends on the application. Not really. Usually, if you do Cerakote for those properties because your gun is rusted or you want something that's a tougher finish,
Mhm.
I'll recommend Elite Series. If you want a gun that's just finished in one color, and it's only available in 8 colors, but it's all the most popular ones like the black or FDE or like
OD
different
green.
shades of different
Yeah.
shades of brown and green and black. So if you just want one color like that, I'd recommend the Elite Series. But if you want like a really crazy pattern, a camo or digicamo, I don't know, Cryptek
Cryptek,
or
yeah.
wood grain, for that kind of stuff, the H series works better. If you're gonna layer different colors together, the H series works a lot better. If you try doing that with the Elite series, the colors won't mix together too well. So
Oh, okay. So looking over your shoulder, I see you've got a Typhoon there, and now
yes,
the Typhoons are coming Cerakoted. So chances are this was done in
Yep.
H series.
Yeah, that's H series. So this one was Cerakoted from the factory. I didn't do that job. That's the Canadian Patriot Edition.
Okay.
And this one, so it has a distressed red, white, and black with the maple leaf on it.
Can you describe
if you
for the listeners who are listening what the distressed look is?
So distressed is usually your base color is usually black, and then you put another color, whatever you want, and then you just kind of rough it up. There's
Wipe
different
it sort
techniques.
of when it's still wet?
Well, yeah, when I was at first, the way I used to do it was just taking steel wool after it was cured and try to just remove the top layer.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they showed it over there is that you just flash cure the first color, just go put it in the oven for like 10-15 minutes. And then when you put your other color on top of it, then you just wipe it. And so that's how you get a distressed look.
Okay.
And there's different ways to do it, but yeah, so that's
So
that's the Typhoon.
so the distressed technique is a method used to put multiple colors on top of each other, almost like shading.
Yeah.
Was that
Here's
okay?
one that I did in pink. So this one is pink and black. So that's a Norinco in P22. It's a SIG clone.
So which color went on first, the pink or the black?
Graphite black first,
Yeah.
and then prison pink.
Prison pink, Kelly. That's right up your alley.
I know, eh?
That's
You need this.
actually what
It's dirty, that's why.
Just
God, I
like pink
can't
things
believe I
in
just
prison,
said
they're
that.
dirty. Yeah. I'm glad we
Yep.
spoke over each other there. Okay. So that's going to cost more than a regular one color, right? Because there's two
Oh, yeah, of
colors.
course.
There's
Yeah,
some technique involved. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So now my SLR, we did that in black. Would that have
Yes.
been in the Elite series because we just went one color?
Yeah, well, we did. No, I think I used the H series on that one. I mean, the
Okay.
H series is still a really good product, but H series is the one that's been used for years. But the Elite
Mhm.
series is the new colors that just came out a few years ago. So.
Okay. So
Yeah.
some different colors and a better product. Okay. So I've also seen. So you're talking about you got to cure it in an oven, correct?
Yes.
But I've seen some products that have Cerakote applied to them that you can't heat up. What's that about? And do you do that?
Right. So, like I said earlier, like Cerakote is just a brand that offers a lot of different products. So yeah, the Elite series and H series those two are oven cured. They're the most popular ones for firearms. Then you have the C series, which is just air cured. One you don't add hardener in the mix, and you don't put it in the oven. The advantage of C series is that it's a lot more resistant to high temperatures. So it's used a lot for suppressors. I don't use C series here because we don't have suppressors.
No demand. Yeah.
It could be applied for scopes as well, because I've been reading a lot about it. People saying that it's not recommended to put scopes in the oven. When I asked them, they said they still use H series on the scope and they never had an issue with it. So be trying Cerakoting some scopes in the near future.
I'm not going to volunteer any of mine.
I'll just stick one.
Yeah, I know where we could get some scrap scopes that got really hot recently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
What? He's not using them? What are you laughing at? It's not as bad as what Filthy said to him. Did you hear that story, Jimmy? Yeah. You read it. Yeah. I'll tell the guys later.
Yep.
Okay.
And so so then some of the other products that they use, they have this too. It's called the NIR. I don't know if you can see. So this is only available to who have military contracts. So what it does is it's a paint that doesn't get picked up by infrared. It's not, we can't buy it, but it's still another product that they offer.
Wow.
And then they offer,
that's like a military, something they put on military stuff so that night vision doesn't see it?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Then they have clear coats. Yeah, they have some that are oven cured and air cured as well, just like their paints.
I tell you where this is a good idea. This clear coat, you polished my 597 barrel. Now it has no finish on it. It was a black barrel.
Yeah.
We polished it.
Exactly, yeah.
But now it has no finish. And if I don't keep oil on it, that sucker could start to rust depending on the humidity. Now, we could take that polished barrel and clear coat it, and I'll no longer have to worry about humidity level and getting surface rust on it.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Now, typically, you sandblast something in order to Cerakote it. If we have a barrel that's polished to a high gloss,
for a clear coat, you don't need to sandblast it.
Nice.
Hey,
Awesome.
Denis.
Yes.
Colin Saunders wants to know what products you can't be really Cerakoted at all.
Cerakote can be applied to pretty much anything: metal, woods, plastic, polymer.
Cat.
Flush? No.
Never tried it.
Is there anything that I just won't stick to though?
Well, no, not if. The surface has to be prepped. It has to be sandblasted. It has to be rough. But no, there's really
wood, rubber.
Not that they really mention. Well, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Anything that's going to flex or move or whatever.
Well, probably even then, they do those tests as well. While I was there, they showed us every time they mix a new color, they make a new batch. It has to be a new lot number. It has to be tested. So they do all those tests, and they bend the Cerakote one plate, and then they bend it to like 180, and just to see if the paint will peel off, and the paint usually sticks. So if
amazing,
newfangled technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other question? I had another question here for you.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, if someone wants to send a firearm to you to have you Cerakote it, we get asked whether or not they should disassemble the firearm or send you the complete firearm, and whether or not that's a good idea. Like, do I take it apart and send it, or do I just send you the gun? What do you recommend and why?
It depends. Well, first of all, if you never taken your gun apart before and don't know how to do it, definitely send the complete gun. For like a pistol or an AR that you're used to taking apart and just want to send the upper or lower and handguard, that's fine if you know how to properly do it. But usually, like on most hunting rifles and that stuff, I recommend that they send the complete rifle. I've had people try to disassemble a Winchester 94, and it came in a worse condition. Ended up costing more because I had to fix it before Cerakoting. So in most cases, I recommend sending the complete firearm unless you absolutely know what you're doing and took it apart before. But
Yeah. Speaking from experience, customers who bring guns in that are disassembled, it doesn't always work out because, you want to assume that everybody is on the up and up, but all of a sudden, sometimes, they ask you to do one thing when you reassemble the gun, you find another problem, and then they're like, well, that wasn't there, or that part wasn't missing. So, kind of as a rule of thumb, a gunsmith prefers to have a complete gun come in the shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, now take us through some of the costs that people would be looking at, like an AR-15 one color, a pistol one color. AR-15s, there's a surprising amount of surface area compared to just a barreled action of a hunting gun.
Yep.
So what's all those little bits? Are you going to Cerakote the takedown or the bolt stop and the pins? And there can be a lot involved in Cerakoting an AR-15. Somebody just wants to do the upper and the lower. Like, what are we looking at here?
So there is a price list on my website. So if you go through it quickly, so a handgun one color, $175, but that's just like the frame and slide, and that's it. Or if you obviously if you had more parts, the price go up. So the price listed on my website are, I think that's like the lowest. And then there are always custom projects. So the best thing to do is to call and ask about your specific project if you want to add more parts.
But it's a good guide. It's a good starting point.
Yep.
So basic handgun, sliding frame, $175.
Yeah. For an AR-15, so just one color would be $250, but that's again just upper, lower, and handguard. And now there are lots of other parts that you can get Cerakoted. So again, Yep. Mm-hmm. And then if you want different colors and you want a camo pattern or
Cryptek,
something crazy, yeah.
Oh, grab that Cryptek 22-250 so people see what that looks like on a hunting rifle.
Right.
Like, that's a cool look. Check this out, guys.
Now, so that's a Tika 22-250.
Nice.
I did that one last year, so that was before I took the course. And with everything I learned, this is not the proper way to do Cryptek. It still looks good, but
the new ones look better. That's all.
Yeah.
But good disclaimer. Good disclaimer. Somebody, there you go.
Yep.
So here's a plate.
So this is a Cryptek plate that I did during the course. So Cryptek is usually 3 to 4 different colors. Basically, you start with your lightest color as your base coat, and then add your other colors as you go. So the reason why I say this Tika is not done properly is that you can see like every square, every part is just like solid colors. The colors are not blending together. As in this one, you can see all the different colors mixed together. It's the proper way to do pretty much any camo pattern.
Neat.
So is the Tika discounted then?
Sure.
Not really.
For you.
Anything.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all the questions I had. Let's see some more. Do you have any other examples there of work that you've done in the shop?
Work that I've done in the shop. Yep, I got. So this week I did a few hunting rifles. So I just finished this one yesterday. That's a Browning A-bolt. This one was done in armor black. So
I mean, I know that the video quality isn't super duper, but if you compare that armor black Cerakote finish to, say, a satin finish blued gun, you got to know a lot about finishes to be able to tell the difference. You just can't. You just look at the two and you can't tell the difference. Whether one is satin blued or Cerakote. Now I've got a couple of examples here, Denis, of your work that I'd like to show.
Yep, sure.
This is a Ruger 1022 that Denis did. He did the receiver and the barrel. And
That's good.
yeah, if you look at the receiver, you can't tell. New 1022 receivers basically come painted.
Mm-hmm.
This blows away that finish. I mean, it's more durable and it looks a lot more professional. It's not thick and kind of like bubbly. And then he also did this barrel too. And he did this barrel for me, 3 years ago, maybe, didn't he? And
that's when I first started doing Cerakote.
Yeah, it's one of the first ones. And that gun's been beat all over the place in Maple Seeds and ORPS matches, Now, this rifle here, you can't buy a Magpul stock in that color. This is that stealth gray that he talked about. So this is my
one was smoke. Yeah, that one was smoke. It's actually the Elite series. Yeah.
Right. What's cool about this is the chassis is aluminum, and you can't tell that it's not anodized aluminum until you get up really, really close and try and look and see if there's like any evidence that it was sprayed. So,
hey Trevor, what's up with them 4 drill holes in the side of your receiver thing there?
That's not really important to what we're talking about, but if you must know, MDT has put those there so you can put a piece of pick rail on there for mounting satellites and coffee makers and whatnot.
Well, you could put like a little note, like a grocery list or something like that on the side of your rifle. Yeah.
The original MDT promotional video for this chassis showed pick rails on that side.
I see.
There be holes on this side too. For more pick rail stuff. So
well, on that side you could put like a couple bullets like bolted on the side there with one of those.
You're not wrong, but once again, really not pertinent to the current discussion that's taking place. But thank you for participating.
Very curious.
Well, he saw holes. What are they for? He wants to know.
He got holes.
He sees some holes and he gets all distracted and excited. He also did the barrel. So the barrel, when the barrel was put on by a company that since went defunct, and I'm giving the customer service I went through, I'm not surprised. The barrel was like basically spray painted, wasn't it, Denny?
Yeah.
It was just bad. So anyway, I'm very happy with this one. And I didn't realize that was Elite. But so done right, Cerakote looks like anodizing, and it also looks like satin bluing depending on the metal. Here's another one that he did. This was I wanted the handguard and receiver of my SLR to match. The the handguards of Maple Ridge, and came with an excellent finish on it, but it was slightly different in color from my receiver. So Denise Cerakoted the upper, lower, and handguard, and they basically look like anodized aluminum. It's fantastic. So, but it won't get scratched like anodizing will. So, yeah. Okay, you guys have any questions for Denise that I didn't cover?
No. Just, Denise, do you have anything that you want to promote, or any specials or anything that you have going on right now?
At the shop, we still have lots of Brownings in stock that are on sale. Lots of good deals. If you check my website, a lot of good prices on firearms. Also, we're doing a reloading course March 1st. So it'll be in Dalhousie if anybody's interested. So $50 to register, and it's a 1-day basic reloading course.
Cool.
Yeah, Joey and I will be team teaching on that. We're going to do it at my school.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So how close have you come to killing Trevor? Just want to know.
What?
He giggled, so apparently quite close.
I don't think he heard your question. Maybe you want to ask it again. See if
I just wanted to know, you spend a lot of time with Trevor at the shop, so how close have you ever come to killing him?
Well, I mean, it's a gun shop that like
There's something
you don't-
readily available.
It's very tempting.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but that probably wouldn't look good in the media with somebody getting killed in a gun shop. So,
Well, thank you for using your skills.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for using your anger management techniques to not killing me at work in the gun shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a stellar employee. Whenever I decide to show up, I'm always on time.
Exactly.
oh yeah.
Okay, cool, Denis. Kelly stole my last question, so that's fantastic. I was going to ask you if there was anything that you wanted to talk about that I forgot to mention, but I think we covered it. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Cool, man. Well, I know we've got some projects coming up, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and helping you with those. So next week I will have some time after Monday, and I'll be in to drop some stuff and break some things, man.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Denis. We'll take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Denis for coming on. Check out all his guns and everything at his website. I love Denis. He's such a great guy. Like, really, seriously, he's a great guy. And he puts up with Trevor. Like, he has to get a medal or something. Like, really, the guy is like, I don't know. Maybe he's like the next saint. I don't know. Like,
Cerakote
really?
the metal.
Yeah, let's Cerakote the medal.
Cerakote gold, Cerakote silver,
Yeah.
Cerakote bronze.
Is he getting all 3 medals?
We'll give those to other people that have to put up with Trevor.
Okay, so who else? There's Filthy. There's me. There's you. We need lots of medals.
Participation ribbons, I think. Participation ribbons.
I'm not getting anything from. Hello, are you dead? Hello.
No, I'm reading comments from a couple of intelligent people.
Must not be our listeners.
I was just gonna say.
One of the comments wasn't how. Don't ask Denis how many times he wants to kill Trevor. Ask him how many times he's wanted to fire Trevor.
Well, that's
way more clever than what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you broken things that he's had to pay for? Okay, I'm not gonna actually ask him that.
Paul
That's
was
not even
Gone. Like, why would I ask him?
Yeah, that's not even a thing.
That's
Paul
not
was
even a-
saying that you get a fine in Newfoundland for transporting a firearm out of season without a permit, even if it's a bow.
Really?
That's not a firearm, then. A hunting implement, I guess.
Yeah.
Sharp knife. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we get into listener feedback now? That we're now getting into non-gun.
Just get into it then.
Yeah.
Because what you said took longer than what we said.
All right, whatever. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Really great guy, by the way, didn't he? Yeah. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full service.
You got a crush on him? I'm gonna bring him a note from you on Monday that says you wanna go out? Circle yes or no. Signed Kelly.
Here, call me. Here's my number. Remember that?
Paint this gun pink for yes. Paint it red for no.
Yes. Okay.
When can we tell that story, Kelly?
Never. We're never? ever going to tell that story.
I gotta give like the broad strokes though.
We can tell it at the charity shoot. Anybody who wants to hear the story where Trevor pulled one over on me, everybody in the gun community knew about this except for me and Stacy.
I didn't pull it over. Well,
yeah, you did.
How did I pull it over on you? Because I went along with it? It wasn't my idea, and I didn't do the thing.
I heard it was your idea.
I'm going to kill him. That was all Gallon.
Totally. Anyways,
my only role is I was the only one that knew.
No, apparently everyone knew.
Well, I mean, we told everyone, but I mean...
you told everyone.
So everyone kept it from you. So what's that tell you about you?
I didn't hear about it until... I didn't know the full truth until New Year's.
It's almost a year.
Amazing. You guys are my friends. I love you guys.
But your friends are assholes.
But you're assholes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you want a full update on what this story is, come to the charity shoot because we'll tell it during Galentine stories.
Unless that person's there.
He's not going to be there.
Oh, he won't be at the after party.
No, he's not.
Yeah, you will because I'll invite him.
I'm not coming to the charity shoot then.
I'll be like, hey man, Kelly really wants you to come to the after party. You should totally be there
Trevor,
with all your Aspergers.
we're gonna have a talk after the show.
Oh,
All
man,
right.
I hate it when we have a I know I didn't.
HR
I'll see you in my
department.
office.
Yes. Okay, let's get back to giving props to Armory DC Gunsmith. It's a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes. He now has a certificate for that, as well as wood refinishing. Check him out. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearm accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. Go and check him out on Facebook as well as Instagram as well, because you can see all the work that he does and Trevor does, and they post them up there as well. All right, Jeremy, why don't you take this, Trevor?
Because I don't have it open. Stand by. He says, "Good evening to my dearest podcast hosts and Trevor. A chat about gun prices with friends has gotten me to reflect on useless, very personal, but interesting question. What are the firearms that turned out to be the best or worst purchases when compared to your enjoyment, if that's a word, of using them for sport, hunting, or plinking?" Okay, so what are the firearms that turned out to be the best or worst purchases when compared to your enjoyment of using them for sport, hunting, or plinking?
Just shooting.
Hmm.
He's covered all the bases. It's shooting. So he wants to
Okay.
know what's the best and what's the worst.
So go ahead, Kelly.
The worst was one that I didn't purchase. I actually won it. It was and I don't want to actually say it because I won it. But I don't shoot it, and I probably should sell it. It's the BR99, the shotgun.
Oh, I thought you sold that already.
No, didn't
No.
sell it.
Hmm.
No, still have it. I don't use it at all, so I should sell it. Best purchase was the new AR-15 that I just got, the new Troy. It's fantastic. I love it. It's like shooting. It's like just so fantastic. Love it. It's great. Lots of fun. Super accurate. It's not a bad price too. Got it at a pretty good deal. Oh, pistol, the CZ. I got that at a smoking deal too from Adriel, and I can really shoot it. So that's an awful lot of fun. But yeah.
How about you, Adriel? Best and worst?
Best. That's Shadow 2. Like, it just runs.
Yeah.
It's easy. The mags were cheap. I don't have to think about it. Just shoots it, and it's all good. And for 3-gun or IPSC, it's excellent. It's excellent for both of those.
Yep.
I think worst. I've had a couple of Savage B mags, and I've wanted them to work, and they're just, the accuracy on them is just terrible, and I can't recommend them. I think a lot of the new Savage actions that Savage has done have been bad, and they've tried to get that right balance of like cheap but good, and that one didn't hit the mark. The other one that I might consider for like probably not the right step was that Glock 34 that I pimped out. Just because I ended up using the Shadow, and the Shadow's just better. You can throw all the money you want to at a Glock. It's not going to be 3 pounds when you're done, and it's not going to have a 2 pound single stage trigger. It's going to have a 3 pound double stage trigger. That's just not going to be as good.
Yep.
Trevor?
My best would be the 1911 that I showed earlier that I got reblued. This STI Trojan. The reason why it's my best is because I paid $600 for it.
How?
And it was almost new in the box.
Oh.
And you love it.
And that gun got me to love 1911s because I got it for such a cheap price. I didn't mind investing the parts into it to turn it into an IPSC Classic Division pistol. And I've shot Classic Division more than any other division. And then fell in love with the 1911 platform, and all for $600. I haven't, now as far as worst goes, I haven't sold a gun in a long time. I used to buy and sell all the time if you've been listening to me throughout the years on Slamfire. And I finally got rid of a gun, and it was the WK-180. I could not like it. It doesn't, it was a black, non-restricted, semi-auto air style platform. But
You
I
have
would buy.
decidedly better guns, though. You have guns that are superior than that one in every way, and are
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yes, but I mean, for around the same price, you could get a VZ58 and put an AR magwell adapter on it, and I would take that over the WK, and it's as far away from an AR-15 as you can get. I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. So, okay, carrying on. He said, what are those guns that, for some reason, you will bring by default for any given situation over other firearms that could be used for the same purpose? Okay. Or on the opposite, what are the safe queens that you can't bring yourself to sell but don't use that much? Okay, I know my safe queen, but I'm not going to go first on this one. I'll let ladies go first again while I think of the first one.
Okay, so the ones that I bring by default are my Maple Seed 1022 rifle, because I actually kind of like that one the best of all of them, and I'm super accurate with it, and yeah. And if I go shoot pistols, I always bring the Shadow, because I just like shooting it. And which ones do I bring out at all? There are, I don't know.
Safe queen.
Yeah, safe queen. Nothing really.
No. Okay.
No, I'll shoot all of them. I don't have enough and I don't have guns that are super expensive that I'm afraid I'll do something to them. So, there's nothing really that's a safe queen.
I've got. I'll go next, Adriel.
Mm-hmm.
I have many rifles that I could take to a 3-gun or an IPSC rifle shoot. They all fill the check the box for that kind of thing. But my go-to is always the SLR, because it's non-restricted. I don't need to worry about whether or not I have an ATT. It's lightweight. It's got a Maple Ridge barrel on it. It's really accurate. I mean, I've got a 3-gun rifle set up for a 3-gun AR-15 that is, got a match trigger in it and stuff, and it's kind of cool. And I've got, I had the WK, but got the modern Sporter, but I've got other guns that serve the same purpose, but my default is always going to be the SLR. Safe Queen, why don't I show it to you? I'll never sell it, and it is a Safe Queen. It gets shot maybe once a year, and this is my 1976 Smith & Wesson Model 29-2 44 Magnum, the same gun used by Dirty Harry in those Dirty Harry movies. My IPSC alias is Callahan, because I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan. I'm a huge Dirty Harry fan. I'm a huge 44 Magnum fan. I'm a huge 29-2 fan. And so this gun...
Why have I never shot it?
You're not even allowed to be in the same room as it. Don't you talk about shoot it. I make people take off their jewelry before they hold it. Just kidding. They can't hold it. So... That's
fine.
why.
You're not allowed shooting any of my guns that you don't really care.
You got that right. Yeah, you got nothing special, Kelly.
Got copies of all of those.
Yeah, exactly. So
what? I am special.
Yeah, I didn't say you weren't special. Like, you're super special, but your guns are very generic.
Speaking of generic guns, the one I would use for any purpose for pistol stuff, at least, would be my Shadow 2. If I want to win or if I want to do well, I would take that. If I'm going to dick around, I could, I've got lots of different guns I could bring out to dick around. But if I want to do well, I'll bring a Shadow 2. That Browning A5 has been fantastic for me as a shotgun, as a competition shotgun. The reliability on it's excellent. It does that auto load thing that's magic, and
it literally is magic.
Yeah, that's
the gun was really built by Merlin.
And then my AR has been a bit cantankerous, so I wouldn't say that's got a super special place in my heart. I would I would replace. I would just take an AR off the rack with a red dot on it, and I would shoot that at a match if push came to shove. But those other two,
Yeah.
I'd want to be shooting with one of those, and I wouldn't want to have to get stuck with someone else's handgun, and I wouldn't want to get stuck with someone else's shotgun for a 3-gun match. But AR, I don't really care. An AR is an AR.
Okay.
All right. For me, my $300 GSG 1911 gets way more ammo budget than my Shadow. For 2020, I spent about $100 worth of 22 and a mere $16 on 9mm. For some reason, I just felt like that little 1911 a lot more, even though I know that the CZ is technically a superior firearm. Easy now, Haas. The CZ75 has been around since 1975. The 1911 been around since 1911. It's still going strong, and there are there's more variety in the 1911 platform than there is in the CZ platform.
But there's still pretty good variety in the CZ.
Hell yeah!
Everything from like your standard CZ75s all the way up to like Shadow Mates and all sorts of
Look,
crazy
there's
guns.
really only two types of guns in the world: the 1911 and the CZ platform. Because everything else is based on the CZ, the Tanfo, the Redback. They're all CZ clones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's really only two guns. Get a 1911, get a CZ, check those boxes, go on. Thanks again for the great show. John Moses Browning blesses y'all. Aw. Thanks, Jay.
I like shooting my GSG 1911 as well. Like just getting out and if I'm going to take a new person out to the range, that one
need
for
one.
sure.
Yeah.
I had one. I need to get another one. Mark Price just scored. My Squire.
Yeah.
He scored the best deal on a GSG 1911.
He does a lot of
ever.
that. He scores pretty good.
It's only this like
guns.
you must be talking about his wife because no, he doesn't, Kelly. He owns like 3 firearms. So
No, he he won at the charity shoot last year before.
What did he win?
He won the
Oh, he won a
barrel
barrel.
from IBI, but there's all anyways. He gets some good deals.
It's literally the only time.
Okay, whatever.
In Kelly's experience, he's a very lucky
Mark,
man.
Yeah, I mean,
you're a very lucky
one
man.
time means his whole life has
He's
been
got a
lucky.
beautiful wife.
He scores in firearms all the time. Anyway.
Okay. From Bullseye London. Hi, Slamfire Radio. Wondering if you could help spread the word that we're trying to gather donations for the CCFR via our website. We want to contribute to their ongoing efforts to strengthen our firearms community and educate those who take the time to learn who we are. Bullseye will match any donation made and will give 100% back to the CCFR. We also hope that other retailers will also do the same thing if they aren't already done so to help the CCFR. Keep up the great work. Slamfire Radio, sincerely, Bullseye. So thank you to Ken Thiessen and Rick Woods and everybody over at Bullseye. You can actually visit their website, make a donation. They'll match it and send it off to the CCFR.
Cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're doing really, really great. They've been challenging other retailers as well and clubs too. We read something from them last week about ranges and clubs sending a donation to the CCFR. So if you would like to help out the CCFR or send us an email or anything like that, send us an email at slamfireradio@gmail.com. Okay, shout outs. Twava?
Yeah, I got a bunch there. First and foremost to Mr. Manderson for hooking us up with that amazing room to hold the CRO course.
Mm-hmm.
Ben for the smoking deal on the double barrel 12 gauge. And just love the fact that it's a Baikal like my other 3. Not that Baikals are amazing shotguns or anything. It's just, I got
nice.
2 of my dad's. Now I've got my own double barrel to add to the Baikal collection. And to the CRO candidates who came out and worked their butts off all weekend and had to listen to me drone on and on about the minutiae of IPSC rules, and to Larry for co-teaching with me. Thank you very much. And to Luc Godin. You may have gotten a little health scare today. I don't know how severe, but we're thinking about you, buddy. Hope you have a speedy recovery and that whatever it is not too serious.
Yeah. Adriel, what about you?
Yeah, just the guys who helped put on that Stop the Bleed course. I think that having a whole bunch of trained ROs in the Edmonton area is going to be fantastic for the quality of our ROs in the case of an emergency.
Okay. I was gonna do a shout out to Luke and Anna as well, but Trevor stole my
sorry, Kelly.
thunder. So yeah.
Sorry.
But actually, I'll do it anyways. Luke, you're one of my faves. You know that. I hope that you get better soon. Take care of yourself.
that kinda
We're
talk up.
all thinking of you, even Trevor. And
Yeah, even Trevor. I had I shouted it out first without even
You
knowing you were
stole
going to
it.
do it.
I have it written
So,
right to the shout outs.
Mine was 100% sincere because I didn't even know you were going to do it. You're just copying me now. You're not even sincere about it. You just did it because I did it.
I did it first. I put it in the show notes. It's
I don't
actually
read.
documented.
Can't read.
What?
I said, I don't read. And I went, wait,
Yeah,
can't
no.
read.
Yeah, I can't read. But yeah, no, seriously, take care of yourself. And I hope to see you at the charity shoot. You need to actually get through this so I can see you.
Shout
All
out
right.
to Captain Andy. He's actually teaching me how to pronounce things correctly live on air. It's pronounced Baikal,
Captain Andy?
as in Lake Baikal.
Is he going to be coming to the charity shoot?
And, I don't know.
Yeah, he needs to.
I'm pretty sure I pronounced it correctly. But what I do is like the indoor range we go to, 50% of the time I'll mispronounce it just to see if he's listening. And then the other 50% I'll pronounce it correctly.
Okay.
Nanchucks is how I like to say it.
Nanchucks.
Nanchucks. Yeah.
What is it really, though?
Nunchucks.
Nunchucks?
It's spelled so ridiculously. Anyway, my Bacales are great.
Excellent. Patreon. We do have a new Patreonie. His name is Mark R. He is sponsoring us for $5. Thank you. That's awesome. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, we will be sending you out some patches. Adriel, there is an email with address in there. So yay!
I get to work. I get to do something. I'm helping.
Send us an email with your name, address, and Adriel will send you some patches and some other swag as well. And also, if you would like to show your support for the show as well, you can go over and visit our website and click on the Cabela's link, because once you're going to Cabela's anyways and you're going to order stuff. So you know what? Just click on that link and they'll give us some money as well. So that's how you can support us and we can continue to put out this fabulous content. Right? Yes. And that's about everything. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's all right.
Fabulous. It's like that's like your thing about calling this show fabulous is like that one time Mark won a barrel and you're like, oh, he's like the luckiest guy in the world. He gets guns every day.
He's been lucky.
Flyfire Radio's fabulous.
Fabulous. All right.
Gotta promote, Trevor. Come on.
Yeah.
As well as.
Okay. Go on over to the CCFR. We want you to go and give them a donation, or you can go over to the Bullseye and give them a donation. They'll match it. Join the organization as well. Become a member. Oh,
There it is.
I have to update my membership. What?
As soon as I say it psychologically, then it plants a seed, and she says "as well" 3 times in a row.
Oh, I gotta do my membership this month, or I won't be a member anymore. Check us out on Gunners Canada. We have a thread over there. I post the show each week. You can talk to us. We don't bite. And well, Trevor does. Give us a like on Facebook. We're at 3.
It's more of a nibble than a bite.
Yeah,
that's a gnaw. Gnaw, like your ribs. Like I've got a rack of baby back ribs. That's how I bite.
I have more wings in the oven. I'm just waiting to get to them.
Well, you don't act like someone who has wings waiting for them.
I do. They're delicious.
As well.
Facebook, go over there and like us on there too, because we're at 2344. That's I like numbers. 2344.
Someone who was waiting for wings wouldn't have had to add that part about liking numbers.
We talked about numbers at the beginning of the show, and at the end, it's kind of like a nice.
How many wings are waiting for you? 2, 3, or 4?
There's probably about half a dozen. Goodbye, everybody.
Perfect.